interested to see where they go home in, what it's like. All good thing? Yeah, all good, man. So we just head out here and just go we wander around here and stuff. Yeah, straight out, yeah. Awesome. See what I mean? Right, let's see what a North Korean beach resort has to offer. I tell you what, it absolutely stinks. I don't know what that smell is. What's that smell? Probably just smell barbecue. That doesn't smell too good. That's Jesus. There's like a little shop over here. Back and like an ice cream thing. I haven't got a clue what they sell because I don't understand a word of Korean. Coming onto the beach, it is absolutely dead. There's literally nobody on the beach. That's honest, isn't it? There is literally 2 Korean guys and then there's 2 Korean ladies in the back.
Mom. Well, think I'm not tired. Hey, I want to have some. I can't believe what I did yesterday. Still can't believe what I did yesterday, actually. I still can't believe what I did yesterday. A few more. Okay, an hour or two. The video should be done. David Hasselhoff?
What the hell? Nobody here. Mike's Mitchell, isn't it? Have you seen the jumps? I know. I'm sick as well. Mate, tell me it's bombing off the 10 meter. See what I can do. Frank, have a good one, mate. I'm going to walk a bit more down here. It looks busy. Well, this explains a lot. There's a big fence starting here, and it goes all the way to the back over there. I don't know if you can see, but through the holes in the fence, there is so many people over there. But then the other side of the fence, there's absolutely nobody. So it's obvious. They're all the local people over there, and then you've got all the foreigners over here, but there is no foreigners.
Oh, you softener.
Crazy. I wonder what the chances are of getting over this fence.
You idiot! You're gonna get hurt.
You idiot!
You're killed. I'm still never gonna go to Korea. Maybe Seoul, maybe someday, but be careful as I go to South. Be careful what I say.
North Korea, to an outsider, this secretive state doesn't really make a lot of sense. In fact, to prove this point, quite a few activities and pleasures most of us indulge in on a daily basis are off limits in Kim Jong-un's country. From clothing to haircuts to travel, the state controls pretty much everything. Step out of line in North Korea, and as you'll see, the man will come and take you away. So, comrade, be sure to pay attention to our video and answer our quiz that will be asked during it. We expect every citizen to do their part and get the answer correct. As always, we know that you are with us, so make sure you press that subscribe button so we can continue to send you the best daily propaganda. We mean videos. Let the spectacle commence.
More videos are almost over.
Every year, millions of people take a break from work and head out on vacation. If you're like us, even a weekend road trip can be a nice way to briefly escape the office or the bustle of the city. I
don't live in the city. I live in the country. Okay? Technically, I live in the country. I live in the city though, but I actually live in the country too.
Traveling around and taking pictures of pretty much anything is a standard and legal activity. This is not the case in North Korea. Tourists who travel to the authoritarian state are not free to do what they want. You are allowed to travel only down permitted roads and always with some form of guide who is sanctioned by the government. See a nice landscape you'd like to take a picture of? Don't even think about it. Odds are anything with a camera was confiscated before you left the hotel, and taking pictures of most things in North Korea is off limits. Stray from the state-permitted travel routes or snap some unsanctioned photos, and you'll likely be fined and spend a good chunk of your time being questioned if you're lucky. Religion. Freedom of religion is something most of us take for granted. After all, you can go to a church pretty much anytime, anywhere. You can carry your own copy of religious text, like a Bible or Quran, and even talk openly about religion to others in your home or in a public place. This is something which is totally legal and common in most countries. Then there's North Korea. Since the state is officially communist, it should also be atheist and care little about religion. Not so much. You see, over the past decade, more than one person has been arrested and imprisoned for religious reasons. For instance, visiting pastors have been held because they were believed to be trying to convert North Koreans or spread dissent. One man was even arrested and held after he left a Bible in a nightclub. Experts agree that the North Korean leadership views religion as a threat to its control over the people. Therefore, or any discussion of God or religious teaching are seen as potentially destabilizing to the rule of the country. Celebrating holidays.
That's also.
Even if you're not the religious type, odds are that during certain holidays you throw up a few decorations. Take Christmas as an example. While this winter festivity is based on religion,
I can't believe this hotel actually did this. What? I just put this is a hotel. It's an old archaeology, but this hotel that actually has 3 things on there. It has a table with it does Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and church tree.
Who could be the most outrageous? As you can imagine, North Korea is a far different story. Real-life Grinch Kim Jong-un took it upon himself to ban Christmas. So any lights, any trees, and any sort of manger scenes will likely.
No matter how isolated we are, there's a primal force.
I'm glad I live in Michigan.
Will likely end up with you going to jail. Have no fear, however. Kim replaced the Christmas festivities with a new holiday. Instead of good old Saint Nick and Jesus, late December is now the time of year the state allows people to celebrate Kim Jong-suk, the grandmother of the current leader. Conveniently, she just happened to be born on Christmas Eve, so there's no need to reschedule anything. How considerate. Jeans. When it comes time to update your wardrobe, or you just feel like buying some new clothes at the mall, we bet some of your time is spent trying on new jeans. Whether for daily wear or even work, jeans are definitely an important part of Western culture and fashion. You likely don't even think twice about buying and wearing a pair of these rather common pieces of clothing. In fact, the only time there are remotely any legal issues involving jeans is when the fashion police need to be called in because that top does not go with those pants. Anyway, North Korea doesn't have that problem. You see, jeans are just plain illegal in this Asian country. Don't believe us? Just look at all the footage that comes out of there. Yep, everyone's wearing dresses that look like they are from the 40s, worker outfits, or military uniforms. Not a pair of jeans to be seen. This is because jeans are a symbol of America and all its people. Wear a pair of these imperialist pants into North Korea, and we bet you get thrown in jail and have your jeans confiscated. We bet being in a North Korean jail with no pants is a rather unpleasant experience. Television. Being able to turn on the television and have access to hundreds of channels is something most of us take for granted. Sure, most of the channels are terrible, and we never watch them, but still, having that level of choice is nice. In fact, many providers offer a wide range of foreign channels from French to Portuguese. Nothing illegal about that. If you find the choice overwhelming and hate keeping track of more than a few channels, well then maybe North Korea is for you. It's reported that the state runs just 4 channels, so the option of
It's 5 now.
tonight will be pretty simple. Most of the coverage is state-sanctioned news and propaganda, but if you're lucky, you might catch one of the educational segments covering the life of Kim Jong-un or his relatives. If this gets tiresome, don't bother trying to get South Korean television signals or bootleg copies of programs through the black market. These are illegal. Get caught with any programming from outside the country and you'll face fines, demotions, and hard labor as punishment. Okay, time for our North Korean quiz. What famous food enjoyed by Americans on a daily basis did former North Korean leader Kim Jong-il
The cheeseburger.
have invented?
The cheeseburger in 2000.
Correct responses will result in some much-needed re-education.
The cheeseburger.
Outside communication. We use the internet for news and entertainment, and with smartphones, we can even call anyone, anywhere, and pretty much anytime.
No, you can't.
Nothing illegal about that. We think you know where
That's
we're
better.
going with this one. Given North Korean leaders are desperate to control what information gets in and out of the country, telephones, smartphones, and the internet are kept under incredibly strict control. In fact, there is no real internet in North Korea as no one can log on and enter the World Wide Web. Instead, there is a government-created and controlled intraweb, which allows people to access government-approved content. We imagine this means there are no cute YouTube videos of cats and dogs, just endless images of the dear leader visiting military units and watching missile launches. Officials actually tell the people that this is so that citizens in South Korea don't get embarrassed by how awesome North Korea is. Additionally, even if you see something awesome online, you can't call a friend about it because your phone is closely monitored. Sending or receiving a call across the border is a serious crime and likely to end with you in prison after being accused of spying. Can you hear me now? Mourning. Passing away is a natural part of life. Whether family members or celebrities, when someone goes, it can be a sad time. Naturally, we enter a period of mourning, and that can be a bit different for everyone. However, obligations that we must stick to during this time. Then there's North Korea. Imagine having people watching you during a period of mourning and judging on whether you are sad enough or not. Apparently, that happens. When a major political figure in the North kicks the bucket, it's usually a pretty major event that is highly choreographed. After the passing of Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, the nation observed a set period of mourning. However, it also saw some strange unofficial laws come into effect. For instance, if you weren't visibly upset enough, there was actually a chance you could get sent to a prison camp. There was also a report that an unofficial drinking ban was passed during the period of mourning. Those who were caught drinking were arrested, imprisoned, or even faced worse fates. Adult content. Whether you're into it or not, there's no denying that adult content is legal in most countries in the Western world. You can buy magazines and
Ooh, Playboy.
There are dedicated video stores for that genre of film, and don't even get us started on the selection of toys. Thanks to 50 Shades of Grey, there's even an ever-growing section of erotic novels. Sure, you aren't going to go walking down the street reading the latest adult magazine or pop in a movie at work, but it's not like you're going to get arrested and sent to a labor camp for looking at most of that stuff. Try any of this in North Korea, however, and you are in big trouble.
I'm gonna have sex.
Anything related to pornography is completely banned, and the police will definitely take you away if you're caught with it. Don't believe us? Well, even one of Kim Jong-un's girlfriends wasn't immune to the law in this instance. Accused of making a racy bedroom tape, Kim's ex was made to disappear for quite some time. We're sure it had nothing to do with the fact that she was famous for her hit song, Excellent Horse-Like Lady. You can't make this stuff up. Leaving the country. So you decided you can't take any more of these ridiculously harsh North Korean laws. Good for you. You've packed your bags, plotted out which country you plan to move to, and are all ready to leave. There's just one massive problem. You aren't allowed to leave. Well, in countries like the United States, travel within and outside the country is permitted.
No, right now it isn't because of Corona.
The state controls all travel. Anyone leaving must gain explicit permission, and that is usually limited to government workers and anyone with ties to official North Korean business. The government doesn't want its regular citizens leaving for two reasons. First, it would be impossible to track the whereabouts and activities of so many people outside of the country. Second, once outside North Korea, the government has no control over what people read, see, or do. Having witnessed North Korean citizens and officials defecting or trying to seek asylum at foreign embassies, the state is pretty much willing to put you in a gulag if it will stop you from trying to leave. Hairstyles. The next time you head out onto the street today, try picking out how many different hairstyles you can see on different people. From shaved heads to shaggy hair to interesting dye jobs, we bet you can't keep track of all the various styles. Want a green mohawk? Not a problem. Sure, it may limit your chances of getting that job, but it isn't illegal. In fact, it would likely cause a civil war if the U.S. government started telling its citizens how they had to wear their hair. Fortunately, employers in North Korea don't have to worry about dealing with any job applicants who are sporting outrageous dues. You see, Kim Jong-un has stipulated that there are 28 allowable haircuts. We're not kidding. There are 18 and 10 state-sanctioned styles for women and men, respectively. If you think that sounds limiting, it gets even worse when you know that married women have even less choice, as they are instructed to keep their hair short. Single ladies, however, well, you can go wild by having shoulder-length hair. Interestingly enough, nowhere on the state-sanctioned list do we see Kim Jong-un's hairstyle. All right, do you have an answer to our quiz? Which famous food enjoyed
the cheeseburger
on a daily basis did Kim Jong-il claim to have invented?
Which is a lie.
Answer, the hamburger. Yes.
It's been around since the 30s.
Supposedly came up with the idea, which he dubbed double bread with meat. We think we'll stick with hamburger for now. So
yeah, and the hamburger came out in the 1920s. How long that? Listen, the first fast food joint to come out was White Castle back in the late 20s, early 30s. Now, I don't like White Castle that much because I don't like onions. I like chicken rings they make though. I'm alright with White Castle. Michael Jordan bought a NASCAR. I can't believe Michael Jordan bought a NASCAR team. Or part of it. I'm gonna watch Abandon episode. You're watching Abandon episode blank.
To show up the show off, do you need power?
Boy Scouts are gone.
Boy
Scouts suck.
Makes this RC truck even faster than Gaga's. Well, we have a winner.
I wish I had my own car, but oh well. Write some gaming! Yep, I'm right, write some gaming. Bright Sun Gaming. Few more minutes to go. They have all these videos uploaded.
My name is Jake. Man, has this been a strange week for me. I'm gonna excuse my no videos just because this week has been not only strange but very not tough, but very stressful and strange. It's just a lot of strangeness now. Things change, don't change. Who am I? My name's Jake. I already said this. This is gonna be a lot of black screen again. Welcome to the 5th episode of Abandoned.
Episode 5.
What? Guys, oh my god, this is the most requested thing ever. Today we are doing Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary.
There. Please shut up.
Keep your screams down to a minimum.
Sit back like a minute.
Everybody wanted this video. Like, so many people. That Nick Studios. We're gonna get to Nick Studios. Here's all the people that wanted it, because it's a freaking hell of a lot of people. So, today we're going to be exploring the details of Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, mostly known as Alcatraz. Alcatraz was a high security maximum prison on Alcatraz Island, which is about 2 kilometers off the coast of San Francisco, California, which opened on August 11th, 1934. The main prison building was actually built in 1910 and 1912, during the time when it was used as the United States Army prison for World War I. When the disciplinary barracks were acquired on October 1933 by the United States Department of Justice, the island then became a prison for the Federal Bureau of Prisons in August 1934. The buildings were upgraded to meet the requirements of a high security prison due to its such high security location, since it's 2 kilometers off the San Francisco Bay. It also surrounds with cold water and strong currents. Alcatraz was believed to be escape-proof. Now, seeing it was such a high-security maximum prison thing, who would actually go there? Well, some of the worst of the time were actually in Alcatraz, because Alcatraz was designed so that prisoners that continuously caused trouble in their prisons were going to be sent to Alcatraz. Some of those people that were in Alcatraz were Al Capone, George the Machine Gun Kelly, Arthur R. Doc Barker, Alvin Creepy Caparis, who actually spent most of his time than any other prisoner in Alcatraz. Alcatraz gained its notability because of people's conceptions that it was the toughest prison in America. Former prisoners would often report acts of brutality and inhumane conditions. However, somewhat contradicting other prisoners that said Alcatraz's bloody conditions were much better than other prisons in the country, especially the food. On June 11th, 1962, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, I think I'm saying that right, Anglin, A-N-G-L-I-N.
Close enough. There's trash can.
Carried out one of the most intricate escapes ever. Apparently, behind the prisoner's cell in cell block B, there was an unguarded 3-foot corridor. The prisoners were able to break away pieces of the moisture-damaged concrete from around the air vents using mangrove drills from things that they found around the prison. The escapees also made an inflatable raft from over 50 raincoats that they stole. They escaped through a vent in the roof and departed from Alcatraz Island. Nearby on Angel Island, the FBI found articles from the prisoners that were parts of rafts. The official FBI case said that since the water temperatures were about 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, or 10 to 12 degrees Celsius, I think, it was about 2 kilometers or 1.25 miles, that there would barely be a chance of surviving, leaving the prisoners presumably dead. Okay, that was more of the exciting times of the prison. Let's move on to the final years, or the abandoned years. During the 1950s...
Okay, guys, we're done. Thanks for watching.
Very unpopular prison, because it was far more expensive